And now we present amateur action in the featherweight division. Please welcome to the cage, MANTAS SMAILYS.
MANTAS SMAILYS here at Rise of Championships 5. 5 submission finishes for MANTAS SMAILYS, and that equals his opponent's record. SMAILYS 6-1, fights out of fight box, and Brad Pickett has told me that this is his fight to watch for the night. A really, really tricksy matchup between these two very, very skillful players. Rob, any experience of these two?
Well, SMAILYS carrying a judo black belt, Will, which will go a long way. I mean, watch out for some of those devastating throws and takedowns, and as you said, very much a submission specialist. This is going to be a fantastic fight because also, as you said, Crawford likes his submissions. So I'll be very surprised if this one stays standing. Very surprised. SMAILYS says when he gets in, he feels that he never wants to give up.
And now, welcome his opponent, Kingsley Crawford.
So, Kingsley Crawford, this is the man that will take on the undefeated MANTAS SMAILYS.
Crawford, the silent assassin, held the featherweight belt at Fusion and Fight Star. Waves his way through the smoke. As you said, very much a submission man himself. His last win coming by way of armbar. This should be a great, great match.
So Crawford comes to this with 9-3-1. Those are the fighteronomics for Crawford. An amateur bout in the featherweight division. 3 3-minute rounds for this. Both fighters, well, 5 submission finishes between them. You've seen Crawford perform before, Rob?
Yeah, I mean, he's a great lad, very, very live, very electric. Don't blink because you'll miss it. You know, it's one of those kind of fights. And for me, coming up against someone like SMAILYS is going to be a fantastic fight. And a real test. Both these guys are both stepping into one another that I feel is a good point in both their careers. Either man that walks away with a victory has accomplished something here today.
So that's a great sentiment for both fighters and incentive. You just have to see how this plays out. But as I say, Brad Pickett said to us pre-fight, this is one to watch. They're very technical. They bring an awful lot of skill, high skill level. And so be prepared to watch these two as they work the locks.
And now, presenting 3 3-minute rounds of amateur action in the featherweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. He stands 5 feet 8 inches tall and weighed in officially at 144.4 pounds. An official amateur record, 6 wins against a single defeat. Fighting and representing out of Fight Box and Peterborough, England, MANTAS SMAILYS. And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, also 5 feet 8 inches tall and weighed in officially at 142.8 pounds. An official amateur record, 9 wins, 3 defeats to a single draw. Representing Revolution Martial Arts, fighting out of East London, Kingsley, the silent assassin, Crawford. When the action begins, your referee in charge, Daniel Mulvahedi.
So the bout that has been billed by the promoter as incredibly skillful, but fun to watch. 3 3-minute rounds in the featherweight division. MANTAS SMAILYS with the blue straps. Kingsley Crawford with the red.
So no touch of gloves, just straight to business. Crawford, shot across. Smiley's the southpaw stance. Dangerous stance of the southpaw.
Good high kick. Little flash there from Smiley's. Crawford well covered up. That right hand tucked right in close to his chin. Good guard. Good movement from both men. And it's the range and the distance here that's the important factor. It's Smiley's that's calling the range at the moment. Crawford just having to respond with the counters. But Smiley's, well, bringing more to the party here so far.
Crawford stalking his man, he's walking well.
He's tagged. That left hand of Smiley's does a lot of damage when it comes in. Awkward fighter, southpaws, and Crawford might just take a little bit of adjusting to this.
Yeah, Smiley's just pouring out that jab. Stepping in lightly. Oh, both guys missing huge shots there.
And of course, it's a little bit of switch hitting there from Crawford.
Smiley's with that high kick, doesn't quite do any damage, but it's a warning.
Slipped nicely by Crawford. So, a little bit of a clinch.
And I would have been a betting man, I would have said this would have hit the canvas as soon as these two came out.
Absolutely right, but they're not rushing to get there, are they?
They certainly aren't. Straight to canvas it goes now, off of a slip from Smiley's, but straight back to his feet. They part company.
And some very, very solid hands there from Crawford. Have chastened Smiley's just a little bit. He's on his toes, but that's the look of a man that's got a different outlook from here on in. A little bit of luck for Crawford, but he capitalised on it.
Good knee from Crawford, beautiful work. Smiley steps back. Crawford staying light in front of his man, but Smiley's moving backwards and forwards, in and out.
Some good stand-up skills from Crawford. Goes for the low kick on the inside thigh, then brings the high kick up. He gets caught, that was lazy, and Smiley's drops a knee strike in, and that was a little bit offside for me, but Crawford, unperturbed, carries on.
They clash for the last few seconds. Crawford looked to get that trip, but didn't quite get it. Smiley's with a big bomb just as they part company. And there's the touch of gloves. There might not have been one at the beginning of the round, but there was enough respect between them to have one at the end. Beautiful. Great sportsmanship. And a very, very tough round of action. Will, how did you see that one going?
Well, I think Crawford did very well. He was lucky from the slip from Smiley's, and he capitalised on it, and that's what it's all about. And then, well, the exchanges, Smiley's just had to eat a couple of big shots. So, you know, from my perspective, this is going very well for Kingsley Crawford. They're both submission specialists, neither of them rushing to take it to the ground. So I think therein lies the rub. They each know what they're capable of, so maybe they're bringing a different strategy to this to try and see if that's going to be what tips the scales in their favours. So, going into round 2 of a Schedule 3.
Very interesting that they should both approach the fight with the same attitude. Both going in, hands held high.
And you'll have noticed rushing out of the ring there, Daniel Sam, very famous stand-up fighter and Muay Thai stylist, training Kingsley Crawford. So he's in the corner, not a bad man to have there. And Crawford relying on those skills now. Boxing's upped in the ante here, and low kicks and the hands from Crawford, very good.
So here we go, both fighters just trying to work that position. Crawford just, wow, I think that was a bit unexpected on both parts. Crawford trying to find his way back to his feet. Smiley's not letting him. Quite happy to fire the low kicks. Keep Crawford on his back. Smiley's looking to grab those legs. Trying to pass that defensive position of Crawford, but he gets back to his feet. Another knee to the centre. I don't know whether that was...
Yeah, it's debatable whether that was offside. There was one earlier, actually, from Smaily's, and maybe Crawford making the best of that situation. Oh, no, clearly in distress by it, but good recovery from that position.
Crawford just trying to shake it off. He has up to 5 minutes just to recover. Generally, it won't take that long. But yeah, he's just talking to the referee to make sure he's safe. He's well. Yep, he's ready to go. The action's back on. Sometimes you feel if they wait too long, they can change the flow of the fight. The psychology of the fight can change. The whole dynamics of the fight can change. So sometimes in those situations, it's best just to recover as quickly as possible and get cracking.
So Smiley slips there after a mistake with the kick, manages to scramble to safety, use the ring and backpedaled out, but definitely on the defensive in terms of what Crawford's bringing here. And Crawford still composed, looking to outbox his man, but it's Smiley's that's controlling the range.
Yeah, that was good. Hands followed by a high kick by Smiley. Crawford parts company. Smiley again, just using those sharp hands.
Crawford getting caught, just tagged. So Smiley scoring away, Superman punch. Just manages to kiss his man lightly there. Good kick. And Crawford getting a little sloppy in his work, but this is the mistake. Smiley's has gone to the ground and given up his back, and Crawford will take full advantage of that if he can.
Good knee to the body there from Crawford. As Smiley went to the cage. Good body kick. Both these guys trading some beautiful shots.
Fun to watch was the description of this. And it's certainly been that. High level of skill from both men here. And Smiley's now starting to blow just a little bit. And Crawford maybe looking to take up the slack and up the ante here. I thought Crawford's work was just a little bit sloppy at the beginning of this round, but he's got the precision back and he's starting to land the shots. He's certainly a lucky guy in terms of how they end up after an encounter. Smiley's has slipped a couple of times and Crawford has advantaged himself well as a result of that.
Yeah, Crawford for me has turned up the pace. He's pushing it on to Smiley now. Something in Crawford has clicked and the confidence has grown. There's certainly a switch in there somewhere. He's definitely pushing it. Maybe he can sense that Smiley's starting to breathe a little bit heavier. Maybe he can sense that the opportunity's there to push the pace, to take the fight to Smiley now.
So Daniel Sam in the corner of Crawford. And I would imagine that he'll be saying, keep the boxing going. Sam, of course, veteran of many, many established kickboxing promotions, not least of which Super Combat, where he made some very, very impressive performances there. So he'll have been training Crawford with some very, very good stand-up skills. Third and final round, and tough to call this one at this stage, Rob.
It is very tough. I mean, yeah, third and final. It certainly is. Crawford, for me, very impressive in the last round. The first round, Smiley's. Second round, possibly Crawford's. This round, all to play for.
Rushing to work, Crawford runs across the ring, psychologically bringing it to Smiley's. Smiley's maybe have to adapt his strategy because he doesn't quite know how to handle Crawford. But Crawford busy working away and pressurising, making Smiley's really use the ring.
Yeah, Crawford looking light on his feet. Steps in, steps out, gets that takedown, drives.
Smiley's with the Superman punch, which of course we saw coming. So did Crawford, and he slips under it, and that gave him the opportunity to go for a shoot. Hasn't pulled it off, but it just shows you how Crawford is capitalising on Smiley's errors.
Both guys just trading knees. When they get close like this, knees to the thigh, knees to the body.
Smaily's really starting to blow now. And Crawford, lemon fresh, really just looks so crisp coming into this. And the evasion and the strikes from Crawford have gone to another level.
Beautiful head movement there, wheeled away, slipped under, through the body shot, then followed it up with a body kick. Very nice work from Crawford. Smiley now skipping around on that outside.
Gets caught though twice now with that right hand from Crawford. And Daniel Sam, that word he had to keep it upright and to keep the boxing skills going. Good straight left there from Smaily's, but it's not enough. The work rate from Crawford, well, is edging it here for me.
Yeah, Crawford seems to have got Smiley's number now. That southpaw stance.
Big right hand goes over the top there from Crawford. He's headhunting now, feels he could finish this. Smiley's, well, looking like a man that doesn't really want to engage, just trying to ride the round out. Spinning back fist, we all saw that coming. So did Crawford.
Smiley as well, sorry, Will, he's just scooting around the one side. He needs to be very careful, because if Crawford reads him well and times it right, we could see a nice head kick or hook that lands perfectly. Smiley's needs to be careful.
Waiting to meet him and greet him. And Crawford saying, come on, let's bring it on and engage. But of course, Smiley's slightly smarter than that. Superman punch catches Crawford, but bounces off.
Maybe Smiley feels that he did enough in the first two rounds to win them. Trying to win by avoidance almost.
Crawford certainly looking now for headshots. We might see something spectacular. The clock's with him, Crawford, if he can bring something to this. Trying to close down the cage, but he can't keep his man in one place. Little mistake like that from Smiley's. If he gets caught with a knee, it could be all over. Well, they go to it, and it goes to the mat, and it's a strong finish from Crawford, but we're not going to see anything decisive. It's going to go to referee scorecards. Judges' scorecards. Referee allowed that to continue, and I think at one stage, if there was more time, he might have intervened. But it's gone to the wire, and it's gone to the bell.
Yeah, it was an interesting bout. First round for me, Smiley. Second round for me, Crawford. Third round, tough one to call, but I'd probably put it into Crawford's pot again. He was pushing the pace. Smiley's was skipping around the outside. Didn't do enough for me in that last round, Will. But I'm not the judges. The judges are here at Rise of Champions. Let's find out what their official decision will be.
Absolutely. Good, clean work nonetheless. This is high level. Really is. These boys are operating at an exceptional level. And the work is really of an incredible standard. So although we didn't see anything on the ground that was meaningful, boxing skills were all there.
Ladies and gentlemen, round of applause for our fighters this evening. Come on. This bout goes the distance, 3 rounds. And we go to your judges' scorecards. Our first judge scores about 29-28 in favor of the blue corner. Judge 2 scores about 29-28 in favor of the red corner. And our final judge scores about 30-26, declaring your winner by split decision. In the red corner, Kingsley, the silent assassin, Crawford.
So he took it. Kingsley Crawford gets the victory. And for me, it was that second and third round. He really did change his game. He turned the speed up, turned the pace up, turned the accuracy up, switched on and came to life. Great win.
So in the end, a unanimous decision, and the judges call it. So Crawford just putting in a performance every round throughout the 3 to keep it solid.